It's a valid question.
What's going on, guys? It's the MadGood Knicks show. Far J, Pete, here to give you all the Knicks news all damn time. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. We're here to give you all the Knicks content all season long.
Woo.
Topic of discussion for this program, fellas. I see Pete's got the notebook ready. Jay doesn't know where he is.
What?
We're ready to do this. Mitchell Robinson starting over Enes Kanter. That's quite the debate, and that's why we're here to look at it at all angles.
Honestly, I don't think it's a debate.
That's
really
why
don't.
we're here, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we're here.
I really
so,
don't.
do you guys think what's the case for Mitchell Robinson over Kanter? First of all, development's the only thing.
Yeah, we're in the year of development. He should start, get experience going against top tier talent because that's what we see for Mitchell Robinson in the near future. He's so raw, so undeveloped for now. He has to go against these type of individuals.
Pete?
I actually disagree. I don't think that a first-year rookie who's so raw, coming straight out of high school basically, necessarily has to start to be developed. I think we could still give him a lot of minutes in critical situations. But for me right now, Kanter, long-term thinking, winning games is probably the better choice to be playing more.
Who's more expensive?
Kanter.
Who's a better value for the team?
Who's a better value for the team?
Who's a better value? Because you think about next year,
question.
right? Kanter's contract is done. The Knicks might have to re-sign him, right?
Right.
Mitchell Robinson, he's on a 4-year contract, rookie contract with the Knicks. So if you think of it that way, it's like, why should Kanter get these starting minutes and the starting experience that Mitchell Robinson can exponentially derive value from?
Depends which way you want to go about it. If you want to go about seniority, if you want to go in terms of how
I don't.
effective
Just what
people are actually playing. Kanter right now, even stat-wise, is a better player. In 27 minutes, he's putting up a double-double. Come on.
does that mean he should start?
I mean, he would start on a different team putting up those numbers. Tell me no. Tell me the Lakers couldn't use a damn center right now.
The Lakers could use a lot right now.
All right, then.
If the conversation is
And this
contingent
man
on the fact that
best shape
Kanter's
of his life.
well, if the conversation is contingent on the fact that Kanter is going to be out next season, then yeah, that kind of changes the conversation. I think if we're going to get rid of him, then you develop Mitchell Robinson. You
He's
know
a
what I mean?
trade chip.
But it's what we're
He's a
doing, what's
trade
happening right
chip.
now. That's what we're commenting on.
But for me, I think
Taking everything into
Enes
account.
Kanter has deserved the start. You saw in the last game that we won that he was primarily the guy that was closing out the game. I still think that both Mitchell and Kanter are interior defense liabilities if they're getting posted up.
Mitchell, really?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mitchell is the kind.
I'm gonna pull a bar from last
Mitchell
week.
is a rim.
Really?
Let me explain. Mitchell is a rim protector. He'll block, and he's a great perimeter defender. Actually,
He is,
we've seen
he
him
is,
run out
yeah.
on the perimeter and block so many shots, which is what you need. But I've also seen him, even in open practice and whatever, Enes Kanter kind of take Mitchell to task in the post, and I've seen other centers in the league do that as well.
But is that how good
So
offensively Kanter is?
to
Doesn't
offset it.
Yeah, obviously.
For me right now, I think it is. I think it's a little too early. I mean, I was supportive of the early season experiment that Fizz did, where he changed the starting lineup
And he's
it's
such a methodical person.
It's
I
also
know,
something
but I
that the Knicks
think
don't do
that
often.
it's
Is take
true.
those kinds of chances.
It's true, and I appreciate it. But I think for the time being, I would prefer Enes to start. If we're thinking about winning,
No, but
if we're really thinking long-term development, then I'd probably be on your guys' page.
But also, what about the point essentially that even if Enes was to start and essentially squeeze out a few more minutes, honestly, I don't see his numbers being that much more different than what they are currently. Because if anything, this is his current trend. So if anything, Fizz really is maximizing both of them in terms of energy, and he's using them both in a creative and smart way.
That's a good point. And also, I'll take it back to OKC days for Kanter. He was on a championship caliber team coming off the bench.
This is far from championship, though.
It's very far from championship. But that's what I'm
Far
saying.
from
It's what kind of starter really is Kanter. Yeah, he puts up the numbers, and great point, Jay. He's putting up the same numbers as a starter that he is coming off the bench. So if you have that type of comparison, and his defense is a liability, I think I feel comfortable with Kanter coming off the bench. I'll develop my young guy.
I agree. I think Kanter offensively is probably plateaued in his career as far as what he can deliver. But if
Which is a lot. Like, let's not
true,
discount
which
that.
is a lot. I agree, which is a lot. Thank you, Ennis.
He's plateaued at 20 and 15. I'll live with
keys to the
that.
city, Ennis.
Exactly.
If you've seen the MadGood
What I'm
show,
saying is, like, he's not going to become like a 30-20 guy overnight or anything like that. This is what he gives us. And if we're doing the thing where we're splitting up their minutes anyway, why not do the sort of like the due diligence and give the guy who worked hard the starting position just as a matter of seniority, and then. But why?
But are you under the
Psychological
impression
thing. Like,
that
is it different if Mitchell plays 30 minutes as a starter versus 30 minutes coming off the bench? What do you think the advantage there is? Is it psychological?
Yeah.
Just coming off the bench.
Yeah.
But doesn't that
Hands
sort
down.
of? Do you think that's more detracting? You know, Ennis didn't seem so happy in the role.
But I
Initially
feel like
coming
he's
off the bench, I feel
truly
like he's
testing
coming into
Ennis.
it.
Do you
He's
think
truly testing
that
Ennis.
Robinson was gifted this role? Like he was given it without earning it? I find that hard to believe. And that brings me to my next question. Overall, how does this reflect on Fizz?
Yeah.
I think he's a freaking genius thus far. I feel like he has different schemes up his freaking sleeve, and I just like how methodical he is as just even a human being, suggesting certain people to take care of certain others. That's a beautiful thing to see.
I agree. I think. Excuse me.
Up over here.
I know. I'm good.
I agree.
He's got all these notes and he can't say anything.
I'm speechless from myself. But what I was going to say was, I agree. I like to see Fizz experimenting. It's something that you want to see from a coach, especially as you're developing a young team. They're doing it out in Los Angeles. You see, they're making a lot of lineup changes because you're trying to figure out where the chemistry is, and I think he's doing a good job there. But to touch back on the other point, maybe he's actually a genius here. Maybe he knows that Ennis is probably a better person to close out games with.
Correct.
And then he opens, and Mitchell's a better person to start games with. And maybe in terms of like the confidence issue, like you guys said, Mitchell's better as a starter, but Ennis has done this, been there, done that. And so, maybe that's kind of the plan. Maybe Ennis was even playing along. Maybe Fizz told him, like, you act like you're upset or something.
He is trying to go into the WWE, so could be just a character.
That's a good point on Kanter, and you never know what this will do for a player. If Fizz in the back of his mind is like, you know what, this is gonna help Mitchell Robinson much more than it's gonna hurt a guy like Kanter. So if you can do that and accelerate the growth of Robinson, why the hell not? So let us know in the comments, guys. What do you think? Do you think Mitch starting over Kanter is warranted? Do you think that Kanter should remain the starter for the Knicks just based on his numbers? Drop it in the comments. Let us know who you agree with, who you disagree with. We want to know. Come on. Yo, what's going on, guys? This is the MadGood Stock Watch, where we break down 3 players each. All 5 of us will break it down and let you know if we're gonna buy, sell, or hold. Buy means they're progressing upward, sell means they're going down, and then hold means, let's just wait and see. All right, so my first player, Kevin Knox. I got a hold on Kevin Knox. TBD on what he's gonna be doing. I think his shooting percentage is still scaring me a bit, but the kid's potential and his ceiling, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. His ceiling is sky high, so it's gonna be a hold for me. Frank Ntilikina is the next one. Frank will also be a hold for me. I like a little bit of what I'm seeing. That consistency is key right now. Considering he's kind of a veteran on this team, I'd like to see a little bit more. I'm really impressed by, on the other hand, Damian Dotson. Frank and Damian, of course, were drafted in the same class. I'm impressed with Damian's progression season 2. Frank, I need more consistency. Finally, Noah Vonleh. I am buying the hell out of this guy. Number 9 overall pick once upon a time. Finally came somewhere to get his playing time and prove himself. Kid is almost a walking double, and he's very, very young on a 1-year deal. Let's see what he can do. I see Noah Vonleh in the Knicks' long-term plan, so I'm buying this one. Let me know what you guys think.
What's up, guys? Bringing in the MadGood Stock Watch. I want to talk about THJ. I'm absolutely buying him. I think he's playing at an all-star caliber level. I like to see the progression in his game. He's getting to the basket. He's still taking a little ill-advised shots, but he's still figuring out his placement within the offense. We saw what happened when he was missing versus Chicago Bulls, how we looked all sort of out of whack and out of sync. So I think we're very dependent on Tim Hardaway Jr. and with good reason. So I'm buying him. Another person I'm buying is Emmanuel Mudiay. He's come back with a vengeance. We've spoken a lot about him, especially myself. I've been very critical how he's looked like a player with he's lacked confidence, prior to his coming back post-injury, of course. He's looking really good, so I'm buying Mudiay. And I'm putting a hold on my man Trey Burke. Right now, Mudiay is shining on him, and we haven't really seen much of Trey Burke. He's on the bench, probably buried back there until further notice. So I want to see a little bit more of how things play out with him and Mudiay before I completely sell him. But for now, Burke, you're on hold, baby.
All right, guys, so the stock watch. Who am I selling? I'm going to have to go with Mario Hezonja because I think we've seen this type of player in the NBA almost on every team and every year in the season. It's kind of like a role player that is very inconsistent. He can come in and show flashes, but you don't really see that. You can't really rely on this type of player, and this is not going to be the type of player you're going to put down the stretch in the game if we're in a close game. If I'm going to go for Mudiay with the hold, actually, because he's been producing very well offensively. He is the best passer in the game, like according to Fizdale. But it's again the fact that he's inconsistent. If there was a player where we could mix sort of Alonzo Trier's offensive capabilities and add Mudiay's passing to that would be a prime point guard to have. But it's kind of like in this rotation that we have, it's difficult to pick and choose what player is going to be consistent on a nightly basis. And with buying, I'm going to have to go with my man, Enes Kanter. He's been on a tear lately. 20 points, 20 rebound machine. Another thing I would really like to see within him, within his skill set is passing ability. I noticed too many times that when the ball gets in the post with him, a lot of the defense tends to double team or triple team. A lot of players open out on the perimeter. He's not able to shoot that pass out. And I think if he adds that to his repertoire, he'd be a really deadly player. But overall, I love what he's doing. He's one of those players you want on a team. He's a leader.
Talking stock watch, Frank Ntilikina. I'm buying Frank. Yeah, I know he's missing three-pointers like crazy, but when he takes them now, he has confidence. And he's making post moves, and he's actually driving to the basket, and he's actually making some passes. Yeah, he's still messing up here and there, but I'm seeing something boiling within him. Selling? Well, I gotta sell Trey Burke. Not long term, just some of my shares, because honestly, I don't know where he's been. Like the guy we saw in the preseason and in the summer league is just not here, and I feel like we're so in need of a point guard. What's the point of keeping one on the bench if we're not going to use him? Let's figure that situation out. And right now, Mudiay is sort of like taking the situation there. Anyway, I'm also buying Vonleh. Definitely buying a lot of Vonleh because that guy plays his heart out. He gives you a lot on the defensive end, and the more defense we get, the better, obviously. But also, I'm seeing some offensive flashes from him that I haven't seen before, shooting threes. I still think, considering how many years he's been in the league and he's still kind of raw, that is a little bit concerning because usually players don't really pick that up in the middle of their career. But I still have a lot of faith in this guy to play well. So that's my picks.
Buy, sell, hold. All right, finally. I'm going to hold on to Mario. I still like what I see from the guy, even though he still needs to refine a lot of things out there. I'm not going to lie. He does one thing well and immediately backfires trying to do something similar. Stay course, stay consistent. Hopefully it starts going your way. If not, so now who am I buying? Enes Kanter. Dude, in the minutes you're being given, the numbers you're putting up, yes, I will take that type of efficiency. Keep it up. And who am I going to sell? I think the person that makes the most sense. I'm going to sell Luke Cornett. The reason why? The fuck off my team so I can keep Trier. That's why I'd sell him.